Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have some tough news for Bayern Munich fans, especially those who have been following the incredible season the team has been having. If you're a Bayern fan, this update might make you worry a bit about the team's upcoming matches. So, grab a seat, because today we're talking about a key injury that has sent shockwaves through the club. Bayern Munich, one of Europe's most iconic and successful football clubs, has already had its fair share of challenges this season. From the ups and downs in the Bundesliga to their ever-demanding Champions League campaign, things have been intense. But no one could have predicted the latest blow to their squad, a major injury to one of their most crucial players. Now, I know when we think about Bayern Munich's key players, names like Thomas Müller, Joshua Kimmich, and of course, Harry Kane come to mind. But one name that has been central to Bayern's defensive solidity and attacking fluidity this season is Alphonso Davies. The Canadian international left-back has been a key figure for Bayern, not just in defense, but in their counter-attacking play as well. So, let's dive into the story. According to a recent report from The Athletic, Bayern Munich star full-back, Alphonso Davies, has been ruled out for a significant amount of time due to a hamstring injury. The injury came during Bayern's disheartening 3-0 loss to Feyenoord in the Champions League, a match where things simply did not go to plan for Bayern. The injury happened in the first half, and if you were watching the game, you probably noticed Davies limping off the pitch in added time after receiving some on-field treatment. The loss to Feyenoord was tough enough, but the injury to Davies has only added to Bayern Munich's woes. We know that Bayern had already been struggling with injuries to other key players this season, so to lose another player at such a crucial stage is a huge blow. The club's official statement confirmed that Davies had sustained a muscle strain in his left hamstring. The injury is severe enough to rule him out for 4 to 6 weeks, leaving a gap in the team that will be difficult to fill. The timing of the injury couldn't be worse for Bayern. Davies is an essential part of their defensive structure, and this season, he has really come into his own. With his blistering pace and ability to push forward from left back, he has been a constant attacking threat for Bayern. His energy and forward runs have often provided an outlet for the team in transition, and without him, Bayern's defensive stability and attacking options will be significantly impacted. The statement from Bayern also confirmed that a scan was conducted by the club's medical staff, and the severity of the injury was made clear. Bayern fans were hoping for a more optimistic update, but unfortunately, this injury means that Davies will be out of action for a while. The club mentioned that they'll continue to monitor his recovery, and as expected, more updates will follow in the coming days. But, let's take a moment to understand the bigger picture here. This is not the first time that Alphonso Davies has been sidelined due to injury this season. In fact, he's had his fair share of muscle issues in the past few months. Back in December, Davies was forced to miss 2 matches due to a torn muscle fiber. Thankfully, he was able to recover and get back to full fitness, but these ongoing injury concerns are now starting to raise questions about his long-term durability. Now, we all know that injuries are part of football, but when they start to pile up for a player of Davies' caliber, it's a real cause for concern. Bayern Munich has invested a lot in the Canadian, and his performances have reflected that investment. Since joining Bayern, Davies has been nothing short of exceptional, and his influence on the team has only grown with each passing season. However, with this latest setback, it's unclear just how much longer he'll be able to maintain that level of consistency. In light of his injury, it's also important to note that Alphonso Davies is currently in the middle of contract extension talks with Bayern Munich. His current deal is set to expire in June, and there have been reports suggesting that both Bayern and Davies are working hard to come to an agreement on a new contract. This contract extension could prove to be a crucial moment in Bayern Munich's future. With the likes of Real Madrid reportedly keeping a close eye on Davies, Bayern cannot afford to let him go on a free transfer. The club knows how vital he is to their plans, and keeping him at the Allianz Arena is of utmost importance. However, the fact that Davies is dealing with these recurring injuries may cause Bayern's management to rethink the terms of a potential contract extension. On one hand, Davies' talent is undeniable, but on the other hand, Bayern needs to be sure that he can stay fit and continue performing at the highest level. If Bayern were to extend his contract without assurances about his fitness, it could be a risky move for the club. Real Madrid's interest in Davies is no secret, and they could offer him a fresh challenge in Spain, but Bayern is determined to keep the player in Munich. This injury comes at a time when Bayern Munich is already managing injuries to other key players. Joao Palhinha, a recent signing, has also been sidelined with an injury, and reserve goalkeeper Daniel Peretz is unavailable. To make matters worse, Bayern's right-back Konrad Laimer will be suspended for the upcoming match against Freiburg. With so many key players out, it's a real test for Bayern's depth and their ability to cope with the challenges ahead. Speaking of the upcoming matches, let's talk about what this injury means for Bayern Munich's schedule. Over the next few weeks, Bayern will be facing some important fixtures, and without Davies, they'll have to find a way to cope. His absence means that Bayern will be missing out on his explosive runs down the left flank and his ability to contribute to the attacking third. In the Bundesliga, Bayern will be facing Freiburg and Werder Bremen, two teams that will not make things easy for the German giants. Additionally, Bayern will have cup matches against Slovan Bratislava and Holstein Kiel, which will test the squad's depth even further. The absence of Davies will be felt in all of these games, and Bayern will need to find a solution. The most immediate question is who will step into Davies' role. While Bayern has several options, none of them can replicate what Davies brings to the table. The likes of Rafael Guerreiro, who replaced Davies in the match against Feyenoord, will likely step in, but Guerreiro doesn't quite offer the same attacking thrust that Davies does. Bayern might have to adjust their formation to compensate for the loss of their star full-back, but there's no doubt that his absence will leave a significant gap in the team. As for Davies, his injury recovery will be critical in determining how soon he can return to action. Bayern will be hoping that he can make a swift recovery, but given the nature of hamstring injuries, they'll need to be cautious with his rehabilitation. If Davies returns too soon, there's a risk of aggravating the injury, and Bayern cannot afford to lose him for an extended period. The club will likely err on the side of caution, and we can expect them to give Davies all the time he needs to fully recover before bringing him back into the fold. So, what's next for Bayern Munich? It's clear that this injury to Davies is a blow to their ambitions this season. However, Bayern is a club with incredible depth and quality, and they'll look to overcome this setback. Players like Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, and Thomas Müller will need to step up in Davies' absence, and manager Vincent Kompany will have to work his magic to ensure the team remains competitive during this difficult period. For Bayern fans, the hope is that Davies will recover quickly and return to the pitch as soon as possible. Until then, it's going to be a tough few weeks for the German champions. The road ahead may be challenging, but if there's one thing we know about Bayern Munich, it's that they have the resilience to bounce back. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Bayern will cope without Davies? Will they be able to maintain their title challenge, or is this injury a major setback? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest news on Bayern Munich and other football topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.